We begin CBS2 News with breaking news. A brush fire along the 110 freeway in Elysian Park.
Our Stu Mundell is live in Sky 2 with more. Stu, we can see lots of smoke there.
They had lots of smoke in LA City Fire here on scene. As soon as they arrived, they got the hoses out, and most of that fire is already knocked down. You can see a lot of white smoke and where this is. This is going to be on the 110 freeway, Elysian Park, right between the southbound and the northbound lanes. Now, you can see that lanes are kind of stopped intermittently for the fire activity on the ground down there. And let's talk about the traffic. It's already starting to build. Southbound 110 freeway, you're pretty much on the brakes from about the 5 freeway. They've got 2 lanes open. Northbound 110 freeway, they just closed all lanes for those fire trucks to arrive out here, but I can tell you, you are slow and go, if not stopped, all the way from the 10 freeway. No time frame on when lanes will reopen, but it does look like LA City Fire has a handle on it, so it may be quick. Live in Sky 2, Stu Mundell. Back to you ladies in the studio.
All right, thank you, Stu. Well, a local gang prosecutor under fire for vulgar online attacks against immigrants and Congresswoman Maxine Waters. But will he lose his job? That prosecutor has now been placed on leave by the district attorney.
And the DA is speaking out about his post for the first time.
And CBS2's Nicole Comstock has more from San Bernardino with his reaction and the response from community activists.
I was offended by the comments.
San Bernardino County District Attorney Mike Ramos announcing Monday that Deputy District Attorney Michael Sellium was placed on administrative leave. He is now under investigation for allegedly making a slew of racist comments on social media.
The San Bernardino County District Attorney's Office does not condone hate, discrimination, or incitement of violence.
The San Bernardino Sun reports Sellium posted several offensive comments on Facebook regarding immigrants, the victim of an officer-involved shooting, and Congresswoman Maxine Waters. In the post, which has since been taken down, Sellium writes, "Being a loudmouthed expletive in the ghetto, you would think someone would have shot this expletive by now."
So for us, that is fighting words, and that's why we're here to let him know we'll take this fight right to his doorstep.
Najee Ali is with Operation Hope, a community group working in underserved neighborhoods. He says this isn't just about race, but calling out right from wrong.
He's an equal opportunity racist, and we all should be concerned that this man has power over people's lives.
Ramos says the DA's office has no indication Sellium used bias in any of the cases he prosecuted, but will review any if necessary as part of this investigation.
We must insist on that. An unbiased prosecutor.
Well, breaking news in South LA right now, where a pursuit has just ended. Police were chasing a felony hit-and-run suspect over surface streets when they got him to run over a spike strip on 42nd. Well, soon after, the car came to a stop at 42nd and Avalon. The suspect made a run for it, but was quickly taken down and taken into custody.
It may not be triple-digit heat throughout Southern California, but it is still hot out there, and you can see lots of people at the beach. And now there's potential for thunderstorms in some areas.
Well, CBS2's Garth Kipp is back with us for a first look at the forecast. Welcome back, Garth.
Hi, you guys. Thanks. Yeah, listen, you got to be careful, too, because even though we're picking up a lot of humidity, I'll show you more of this later. I want to get you to the satellite right now. The temperatures might be down a little bit. We have the cloud cover, but there's humidity out there. If you don't live in an area or not used to being in areas where we pick up a lot of humidity, you got to drink a lot of water. Make sure your pets are hydrated as well, because it just doesn't evaporate off your skin. We're getting a nice easterly wave rolling right now. Heavy thunderstorms out towards Phoenix, out towards Vegas as well, but you can follow the flow. That's an easterly flow. Normally it's west to east. High pressure is just built south over the Four Corners region. That's what's dragging the rain. And look at Havasu getting ready to get some serious lightning there. And some of this lightning could drift into our eastern deserts. A lot of this not hitting the surface right now as you get a little to the south. Some of it might be in the form of some shower activity, but we got to keep our eyes open for dry lightning as well. I'll explain it all to you. I hear it was dicey around here while I was out of town. Pat and Suzanne?
Oh, boy. It was triple-digit dicey. All right, thanks, Garth. Well, the long nightmare of suffering through a heat wave with no power is almost over in Los Angeles. Crews are close to getting all the lights back on. Yeah, it's been a tough time for a lot of people who haven't had power since Friday.
That's right. The LADWP has made great progress. Here's where we stand right now. The top 3 areas with major outages are Los Feliz, East Hollywood, and Mid-Wilshire. 2,500 homes and businesses in all without electricity.
And CBS2's Lisa Siegel is live in Mid-Wilshire, where people are desperate for the power to come back on. Lisa.
Yeah, a lot of people frustrated right now. I want to give you the latest numbers from DWP. I just got off the phone. They tell me out of 82,000 people and businesses who lost power, that number is now down to 4,500.
I mean, this is ridiculous, and my dog's food is defrosting again, so I have to throw all this out again.
Susan Scalar, who lives in the Mid-Wilshire area, didn't have power during the height of the heat wave for more than 24 hours. Then it came back on, and today it's off again.
He's been panting. I just started getting my place cool again, and now we're back to the square one. It's now the temperature's rising.
She's just one of many in her neighborhood who've had continuing outages. The DWP says it's caused by strain on the distribution circuit. Gabe Renfro is bringing ice to his wife and 7-month-old. He thought the worst was over. It wasn't.
So we've called in to the water and power department several times, and they give estimates on how long it's going to take, and they've blown those estimates every single time.
All over the city of LA, DWP crews have been working to bring power online, installing new transformers and making fixes. But many have lost their patience, and businesses have lost money. Marta Zuniga is throwing out spoiled food. She hasn't had power at her store in Koreatown since Friday.
Too much money in the trash.
LA DWP crews have restored power to thousands of customers since Friday's heat wave began. They say cooler temps will help prevent circuits from overloading and allow crews to work faster. But Susan Scalar has simply had enough.
Fix it, please.
And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. As we interviewed Susan,
maybe it's going back on. Are we on?
The power came back on.
That is too weird. When you said that, thank you, God.
Well, at least her power came back on. Now, many people we spoke with say, hey, if this is what happens during a short heat wave, they are just bracing for what will happen during a long one. In Mid-Wilshire, I'm Lisa Siegel, CBS 2 News.
What a relief for her, Lisa. The extreme heat may have taken the lives of an elderly couple in the Inland Empire. A loved one made the discovery inside the couple's RV on Lyon Avenue in Hemet yesterday. Police say the woman's body was in a bed. Her husband's was in the bathroom. Their son tells CBS2 it was 115 degrees inside the RV. Police say the air conditioning wasn't on either.
Well, breaking news, the mother accused of abandoning her 60-year-old son inside Union Station last Wednesday pleaded not guilty today to child endangerment charges. Detectives say this is Davia Webster on the 4th of July with her son. She was arrested the very next day. The judge issued a protective order telling Webster, who's from Walnut Creek in Northern California, to stay away from her son. She is back in court on July 20th. Now, if convicted, Webster faces up to 6 years in jail. Well, now to another big story today. We are less than an hour away from the president's announcement on who he will nominate to the Supreme Court.
CBS 2 political reporter Dave Bryan is here with details on what is expected to be a contentious nomination for sure, Dave.
No question about it. And the word we got today from the White House is as late as this morning, the president was still talking to people, evaluating, the nominees. The spotlight is on the Supreme Court today, and President Trump was down to the final 4. But beyond that, the administration has been keeping the nominees secret, building some drama. His decision on who will replace retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy could shape the high court for decades. The president narrowed the field of possible replacements over the weekend.
Let's say it's the 4 people, but they're excellent. Everyone, you can't go wrong.
CBS News has learned the decision is down to 4 contenders. Federal Appeals Court judges Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, Raymond Ketledge, and Thomas Hardiman. But things could change.
Well, the only thing predictable about the president is he can be unpredictable. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't faint or anything if the president came up with a nominee who wasn't on the so-called gang of 4.
Many Republicans are applauding the conservative contenders.
Republicans are holding 4 lottery tickets, and all of them are winners.
But Democrats are already voicing strong opposition. At the heart of their concerns that the president's pick would undermine Roe v. Wade, the landmark 1973 ruling that upheld a woman's legal right to an abortion. The Affordable Care Act could also be on the line.
These 2 rights, affordable health care and a woman's freedom to make sensitive health care decisions, hang in the balance with this nominee.
But it appears the Democrats' chances to block the appointment are slim to none. The Senate only needs 50 votes to confirm a Supreme Court nominee, meaning that if all but one Republican vote along party lines, they will not need any Democratic support. Still, a lot could happen in what will likely turn into heated confirmation hearings.
I'm not a rubber stamp for anybody. I got some hard questions, whoever the president nominates.
Now, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has told the president that Hardiman and Kethledge may be the easiest to confirm, but the momentum is reportedly with Hardiman and Kavanaugh. The New York Times reporting President Trump was working the phones this morning, as we mentioned, seeking input about Hardiman and Kavanaugh. I think the bottom line is, no matter who the president chooses, this will create a much more solid conservative majority on the court.
That's true.
No question.
And we'll see what Congress does.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Dave.
Okay.
We'll keep it right here on CBS2 News. We will be carrying President Trump's announcement starting at 6 p.m. CBS Evening News anchor Jeff Glor will be live from Washington, D.C.
Today, the Trump administration told a San Diego judge it needs more time as the clock ticks toward a deadline for immigrant children to be reunited with their parents. A court-ordered deadline is tomorrow for children ages 5 and under to be reunited. Officials are still trying to identify the children and locate some parents they deported.
We are disappointed the government is not going to meet the deadline for all those children.
It's a fiasco. It's quite embarrassing, and it's something that shouldn't happen in the United States.
A Department of Justice attorney says the government was prepared to reunite 50 children. The government faces a second deadline on July 26th. That's when they've been ordered to reunite all older children with their families.
Well, now to developing news. 4 more boys are now free from the flooded cave in Thailand, where a youth soccer team has been trapped. Witnesses say today's rescue went even better than yesterday's when the first 4 boys came out, because there are even more divers and equipment and less rain. But it is still risky. The boys have to wear dive masks and go under murky water with a diver ahead, pulling their air tank, and another diver following behind. The narrowest point they have to make it through is just 15 inches wide. There are now just 4 boys left inside that cave, along with their coach. Divers are now resting and resupplying, with another rescue planned for tomorrow.
Sad news in the entertainment world today. Actor Tab Hunter has died. Hunter starred in more than 40 films and was a big name in the 50s and 60s. A representative for the actor says he died at his home in Santa Barbara. It was reportedly the result of a blood clot. And today, the Hollywood Historic Trust had flowers placed on Hunter's star on the Walk of Fame. Tab Hunter would have turned 87 on Wednesday.
And we have breaking news to tell you about right now. A shooting investigation happening in Sunland. Stu Medell is live in Sky 2 with more. Stu?
Pat Suzanne, it's happening out here at the 10,700 block of Sherman Grove in the Sunland Tahunga area. Now, officers from LAPD along with LA City Fire arrived here at this address where there was a domestic violence situation going on. Then there were shots fired. We know one person was shot, taken to the hospital, and is in stable condition. And we also know a pet, it was described as a dog, was shot as well. That dog was taken by animal control, and we understand the dog will be all right as well. Right now, LAPD out here doing an investigation. Again, this happening at the 10,700 block of Sherman Grove in Tahunga, Sunland area. Live in Sky 2, I'm Stu Medell. Back to you ladies in the studio.
All right, thank you, Stu. In court for the first time, we see the man accused of gunning down a Long Beach fire captain.
Plus, under attack, how the heat wave has led to an ant invasion here in Southern California.
And dangerous driving. Later, we have the top 5 most dangerous freeways in Southern California.